Hello everyone, welcome to China, Shanghai, for round 3 of Season 2 of our F1 2016 career mode. I am LoveSpuds, welcome one and all. It's a bit of a cloudy day, but it doesn't look like it's going to rain, but we'll see how the race progresses. So, here we are. The circuit's been on the calendar for quite a few years now, and has cemented itself as a half-decent track. I'm not really a fan of it, but this year it seems to be an easier drive for me. 16 corners, 2 DRS zones, 5.45 kilometers, top speed of nearly 350 kilometers per hour, as we just see what sort of lap Spuds can pull out of his backside today. So, some backstory to this qualifying session. It did start wet and then dried off towards the end, so you can see how far up on the delta I am compared to my 1 minute 50.3. Everyone done their laps on intermediate tyres, so now everyone is on the super softs and out on track. So that's why I'm out on track, trying to set a dry lap time, because everyone else is going to be doing that in the final few seconds of Q3 here. And well, it's actually a little bit unfair because the timer does not allow the others to have their laps, basically. So you'll see what I mean when I get to the end. I'll take you through that in a moment. It's just coming onto the massive long back straight here. I don't actually have a lot of straight line speed as far as I'm aware. I'll have to review that as the race goes along, but nonetheless we are on a good lap. We don't really have much to compare it to because we're only comparing it to our wet lap, and go round, brake nicely for the hairpin, even if we do cut a little bit of the corner as we go. It's coming up to the final turn, turn 16. This is a tricky turn to take because you need a good run out of here, because it's a longer straight than you think, especially with the curve at the end. So as you can see, we are on pole with that time. There's the Drivers' Championship there. Only 4 points behind Button there in the Championship. McLaren at the top with 70 points. And we are here on the grid. There's Spuds enjoying a nice little drink before we go ahead with the proceedings here. I still can't talk, by the way. I'm literally recording this after the last one, so please bear with me. So let's have a look at the starting grid when it comes up in a moment. So no, let's have a look at Spuds in the magnificent McLaren here. I will add on that sponsor as soon as I remember to do that, the Shandon sponsor. Will be a few races away yet though. There you go, LoveSpuds 139.5, Jensen 11 seconds behind, Lewis Hamilton, Ricciardo, Rosberg, Hamilton, Verstappen, Bottas, Sainz, Kvyat, Toro Rosso's, Vettel down the grid, didn't make it to Q3, Grosjean, Wehrlein, Hulkenberg, Perez, Magnussen, Palmer, Arianto, Gutierrez, Ericsson, Massa really down the grid there. He must have struggled in Q1. But as I say, the computer doesn't, for some reason, let the AI complete the laps sometimes. So we got that pole just for sheer virtue of being in the right place at the right time. But here we go, 5 lights, and we're off. Chinese Grand Prix years ago. And can't really tell there, but I don't think Spuds got away well. Tried to defend the inside there, but Button was already past him. But Button goes wide and gets hit by Hamilton. Hamilton involved in a first corner collision there, with Button pushed wide, and don't know where Button is now, but we'll have to see that on board in a few moments. Pretty sure that is Ricciardo going up with Hamilton into that bend there. Hamilton trying to hang around the outside. No, that can't be Hamilton, it's got to be Rosberg. If I can just see his helmet, that's Rosberg, yes. Okay, so Hamilton also fell down the grid there. So let's have a look at the start from Button's view. Just hooked it up a lot better than Spuds did, leaving him for dust. But for some reason, Button went wide and got knocked twice Can't remember who the first time was, but definitely got knocked by Hamilton the second time when he tried to rejoin the track. So let's have a look at Hamilton's onboard. Let's come into the first corner. Oh, gets tagged once by Hamilton, twice. And then Hamilton gets tagged himself up the inside. He didn't have anywhere to go, so he can't be totally absolved from blame there. But if Button didn't mess up the first corner and go wide, he wouldn't have been in that situation in the first place. So just trying to hold up the inside to the hairpin, but Ricciardo, man, just goes round the outside. Just go back on board with Button, see if we can get Ricciardo back as we come round the final corner for an eventful first lap, has to be said. Everyone, I believe, is on the soft tyres. I don't think there's many people who aren't. Just got to make sure Ricciardo doesn't get too far away there. This first bend, quite a handy little overtaking spot for those who want to dare going up the inside. For those on the outside, well, you've just got to be careful not to go wide, because that grass can suck you off into the tarmac there and make your life a living hell. At least for a few laps anyway. So Ricciardo does look very racy today. You can see he's getting us a little bit of a gap there in front of us. China, a track traditionally struggled with, I have to admit. I think there's some sectors. I think there's mostly some sectors such as Sector 1 and 3 are the worst sectors, but Spuds has levelled them off, and now it seems to be like the third sector where he is suffering a little bit here, straight line speed. Well, actually, it doesn't. Does it? As Rosberg comes up the inside, yeah. Fantastic. And Raikkonen to the outside. But Spuds is actually holding on to it. And he goes up the inside to the main straight. Retakes third. Have a swig of ginger beer there. Alcoholic ginger beer. So, third, it's Spuds. Raikkonen's in fourth. See if we can get back on Rosberg on the run down to turn 6. It's going to be possible. Oh, no, not quite. Not quite. He's only 3/10. Oh, a little bit of a wobble coming up there. Still learning how to drive again after a while. It's actually been a while since I have driven this car, so you have to bear with me while I get my bearings again, get my foot and pedal control back to where it should be. But anyway, that's Rosberg just about holding. He's not getting away, definitely. It's still 3/10 the gap as we go onto this back straight here. Depends on the sort of exit we get out of here. It's very, very important to get a good exit because it's a very long straight. And we get DRS on Rosberg. Should be an easy pass. There we go. Move completed before the hairpin. Just make sure we roughly hit the apex there as we go around, and that will do nicely. Nice. On to lap 4. Now we have 2.7 seconds to make up, which is going to take a while. I don't even know if it's going to be possible just yet. We've actually got Ferrari with Raikkonen behind us, putting us under pressure now. Tyres will be starting to feel a little bit off, so we're trying to not outbrake, we're trying to try and do the cutback, which doesn't really work on the hairpin sometimes. Unfortunately, Raikkonen's got that little bit more grip and momentum to come around the corner and actually take it from us. But we do have DRS. Let's see what we can do with this. Raikkonen does not have it, so let's see what we can do running into the first bend. So we can run up the inside, see if it's possible. He's left the door wide open, man. Just get the car alongside, see if we can Oh, sugar. Yes, I forgot about that. So that's Rosberg hitting us from behind. But we'll just have to see a replay of that in a moment. Try and see who was to blame there. That sure was annoying. So, come round that corner, trying to make a move on Raikkonen. Do actually move across on Rosberg's, though I'm not absolved from blame at all from that. I didn't give him any room at all. Problem with my spatial awareness here. And then there's the problem with the AI as well. They just sit there and don't do anything. So let's have a look at Rosberg's view. Okay, yeah. I think Spuds was a little bit to blame there, but I think there's more of a racing incident. As is this. This is just embarrassing. Oh, good lord. Right. Anyway, a bit further down the line, Rosberg is coming back at us again. Rosberg and Spuds seems to be the theme of this episode. Rosberg locks up on the braking to the hairpin there. And we calmly try and take the inside line for the hairpin, and then we got the stuck on the outside for the final corner. But we do actually have the DRS. We were just behind him when we went over the activation line there. There we go, take the place back from Rosberg, and this time we didn't hit each other, which is always good to see. Though Rosberg is clearly faster, my tyres are feeling it, and this just proves I cannot drive into this pit entrance at all as I go onto the gravel there. Trying to do a Hamilton, basically, when he got stuck in the gravel in China a few years ago. So let's see what the McLaren guys can do. How many seconds is it going to take? 2.2, that's pretty good. You can't ask for too much more than that. They've done their job, I need to do mine. So we're in between Sainz and Gutierrez now. Gutierrez and Sainz roughly spread apart quite evenly. But we're going to jump forward a couple of laps to lap 12. And Rosberg comes back again. He has found us. He's hunted us down like a dog. I'm going to try and, inside, actually drive straight into Rosberg. Probably for retaliation of what he did to me earlier. But this is all in the mix of things. And I'm going to get a DRS on Rosberg here. Let's see if we can do something to the first corner. It does seem like we're a bit far back though. 8/10. It's not going to be that possible, is it? Surely not. I can tell I'm thinking about it, but it's not happened. Let's see how closely we can stay onto the back of Rosberg here. We're not going to let him go. Not without a fight. Verstappen's quite some distance behind, so he's not really much of a danger. So here we are, a lap later. I think honestly I didn't pay attention to the lap time there, or the lap counter. But we're a bit closer to Rosberg, and see how we get out of the final corner here and see what sort of run we get out. So we got some DRS. We were closer than we were last time. 5/10, half a second. So we should try and do something here. We're going to try and run up the inside while we've still got the grip on the tyres. And is it going to be possible? Oh, no, a bit far back though, unfortunately. Oh, a bit of a wobble coming out that corner. Didn't quite make it happen that time, unfortunately, so see what we can do later on in a lap. I've obviously kept this up for some reason. Maybe just to fill some time. I don't know what I'm doing. I was meant to make these episodes shorter, but what can you do? But it is interesting to see how I keep the gap between myself and Rosberg pretty constant there. It's a few tenths, probably half a second or so. So see what sort of run we get out of turns 11 and 12 here. Really important not to mess this bit up. I think that's not too bad. He is getting away slightly, but that's sort of to be expected because I struggle on the exit onto the straight here. Do, however, have DRS, so that should be quite handy, especially on the main straight. Depends what sort of run I get out of here. Turned in a little bit too early there. Bit of oversteer. Bit of a squirrely wheel motion there. But again, we're going to try again into the first corner. Into 2. See if we can cover the inside. This is a lot better. Should be able to make this work. And threaded through like a massive needle. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Thread? I think I was meant to say thread, but hey ho, there we go. So that's the move complete, but it's not over yet. Rosberg will try and come back at us. This is something that's going to be with us for a while. Raikkonen's 12 seconds up the road. So here we are, lap 15. Rosberg sails past with DRS. I'm going to try and move up the inside and get him under braking into the hairpin. Be firm but fair. Still there. He's not going anywhere. He's going to have the inside line to the final corner. But can I hold it on the outside? Ooh, just about. I'm going to have DRS though. Or maybe not. There's a fault on the DRS system, so I can no longer use that. So I need to go up the inside here. Otherwise, he's going to get away, isn't he? That's going to be unfortunate. Tell a little bit annoyed as I drive into the gravel trap even more this time. Nearly getting a drive-through penalty. That would have been embarrassing. But anyway, going to pit for the second time. Make our final stop of the race. Go onto the medium tyres, which should last me nicely through to the end of the race. Still struggling with a bit of tyre wear issues, which seems to actually be the way on Legend mode, because I'm taking more out of my tyres to try and be as quick as the AI. But for some reason they don't really have their tyre wear the same as me. Well, I suppose they wouldn't. They're the AI. They can do whatever they want with their tyre wear. So, Rosberg, Spuds, it's on again. I don't know what happened to Rosberg there, but Spuds saw the open door and he went for it. I like how I keep flipping between first and third person here. Spuds, me, myself, whatever. Keep flip-flopping. So got in front of Rosberg, and now Rosberg's going to come back at us. So we leave the door open for the hairpin, and actually Rosberg spins out behind us. So I'm not going to be blamed for that one. I was well wide. There was no reason for that. He could have avoided me, and you know, it wasn't difficult. It's just a case of the AI not turning the steering wheel. Unfortunately, like we saw in the last race with Wehrlein. So virtual safety car has been called out. That'll be due to someone retiring. But I'm not actually sure. Not actually sure if that was the case though. Someone might have just gone off the track. 21 cars. My lack of paying attention in the edits or in the video itself is quite apparent here, because I would have noticed if that was retirement, because I cannot for the life of me remember if that said 22 cars before the safety car. I think it might have done. I assume this is why the safety car has been called out, the virtual safety car, because of someone pulling off, usually due to mechanical failure, like an engine blowing up or something. But here we go, returning to racing speed, and Rosberg should be somewhere behind. Let's see if we can stay in front of him this time and not let him catch us up. Raikkonen and Ricciardo, first and second. Second and first, whichever way you want to put it round. They are too far away, they are 17 seconds up the road, and I just have to contend myself with Rosberg again on the final lap. It's just about holding on now for that podium finish. Don't quite know where Buttons ended up, so he must be like 4th, 5th, 6th. He could be 6th. He could be 6th. Depends if there's a back marker in the way, which I don't think there is. He could actually be 7th, for all I know. But we'll see when the results come up. But nonetheless, here we are. Final lap of the race, lap 28. Again, 50% races this season. Just see how they go. So we're just going to see Ricciardo now coming down the main straight here. There's not much going on with Spuds, I can tell you that right now. So Ricciardo's coming round the hairpin for the final time. The Australian will become the 3rd winner of Season 2. And takes Red Bull's first win of the season. Well done, that man. He's quite happy with that. He's quite pleased. That's for sure. And then Raikkonen comes home in 2nd. Here's Spuds and Rosberg going around the final bends now. Just see who makes it across the line. And Spuds finishes 3rd. Can't complain too much about that considering the lack of pace we had, although probably didn't necessarily deserve 3rd considering Rosberg's pace, but that's how it goes, I'm afraid. Christian Horner there, really happy, congratulating his guys there. And as I said, Ricciardo becomes the 3rd different winner of Season 2. Maybe taking the challenge to the McLarens there. Don't know what happened to that helmet there of mine in the background. It turned completely white. All the colour had left it for a moment there. But anyway, there you go. You can see our fastest lap was pretty quick, but we weren't necessarily consistent throughout the race. So you got Ricciardo, Raikkonen, Spuds on the podium, Rosberg, Verstappen, Vettel, Bottas, Button down in 8th. He had a terrible race. Sainz, Kvyat, Hamilton, Hülkenberg, Gutierrez, Massa, Haryanto, Perez, Nasser, Ericsson, Verlaine, Grosjean, Palmer and Magnussen. Magnussen being the only DNF of the race. So here we are at the driver standings. Spuds still at the top. Ricciardo takes 2nd position. Spuds actually takes the lead of the championship. Button falls down to 3rd, but there isn't much in it. Only 7 points between the top 3 guys. Still early on in the season. Verstappen, Hülkenberg moving up there. A lot of people moving down. So a little bit of a dip, but not too bad. Valtteri Bottas moving up as well. McLaren still on top, but Red Bull Racing moving up to 3rd thanks to that win, and actually matching Mercedes for points right now. A 19-point gap between McLaren and Ferrari. Ferrari, strangely enough, in 2nd, considering that they're not hugely on the pace at the moment, but Raikkonen has got on the podium today, which is good to see. Anyway, join us next time for round 4 in Russia. Sochi in Russia. See you then.